Do you trust your wife?
Well, do you? It's possible for you to retire for life on Do You Trust Your Wife? Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, a husband, by knowing whether to trust his wife, can possibly retire for life. Yes, our trust fund question pays $100 a week every week for an entire year. And the trust fund winner may return and keep winning an additional year's income until he is defeated. Returning to compete with tonight's winning couple to try for $100 a week for a fifth year, our construction company technician Eric Gude and his wife Helena. And now it's time for our trust fund question. We will place in trust with the world's largest bank, the Bank of America in California, a trust fund which will pay tonight's winning couple $100 a week for an entire year. Back tonight to try for $100 a week for a fifth year, our construction company technician Eric Gude and his wife Helena.
Well, hello again, Helena and Eric.
Hello, how are you?
Are your good luck charms ages 1, 2, and 3 with you again tonight?
Oh, yes, and they're turning into regular little hams, aren't they?
Oh. Well, other than your winnings now totaling around $22,000, I believe, what's the good word at the Gudes this week? Any more excitement?
Well, lots of mail and telephone calls.
Uh-huh.
And we even had a wedding in the family.
A wedding?
Yes. My brother married Eric's sister.
Oh, I see. You what?
My brother married Eric's sister.
Oh, I see. Well, now, does that make Eric your brother-in-law?
No, not quite. That makes that my sister-in-law is again my sister-in-law, and Eric's brother-in-law is again his brother-in-law.
Yes, yes. Well, I hope all those people are enjoying their honeymoon.
Mr. Bergen, they gave that up to come and root for us tonight, and they're out in the audience.
Oh, they are. Well.
And next to the newlyweds is my sister Jackie.
Oh, I see. Well, with all those in-laws and babysitters and grandma and the kids ready to root for you, let's do it then. What are we waiting for? Bob Lamont, who are tonight's winners to challenge the Gudes?
Well, Edgar, to compete with the Gudes is tonight's winning couple with $200, Bert and Marjorie Wetzel. The subject for tonight's trust fund question is United States government. Edgar, here's that question.
United States government, yes. Well, gentlemen, you've heard the category. There's a lot of money at stake. Now, do you trust yourself or do you trust your wife? I hope you make the right choice. In just a few seconds, our couples will match wits in the big trust fund question. And now, Eric Gude, do you trust yourself or do you trust your wife?
I'll trust my wife on this one, Mr. Bergen.
You have her complete disapproval. And Bert Wetzel, do you trust yourself or do you trust your wife?
I'll trust my wife.
Well, very well. Then it's Mrs. Wetzel and Mrs. Gude. Will you go to the board, please? You will have 20 seconds to answer this question. It's worth $100 a week for a year. And the winner can come back and perhaps make enough to retire for life. This may be the most important answer you will ever have to give. You have 20 seconds, so think clearly and write fast. Get your pen ready. Here is the question. On the board is a list of 10 subjects covered in the amendments to the Constitution of the United States. When I say go, write down the number of the amendment after each subject. In other words, we want the number of each constitutional amendment. Are you ready? Go!
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the correct answers. Income tax, 16. Prohibition, 18. Freedom of speech, 1. Slavery abolished, 13. Women's suffrage, 19. Election of senators, 17. Prohibition repealed, 21. Self-incrimination, 5. Re-electing president, 22. And trial by jury, 7. Mrs. Wetzel marked her 9th answer after the bell had rung, therefore it does not count. The Wetzels have 8 correct. And the Gudes have 9 correct. And the Gudes are our trust fund winners with $100 a week every week for a 5th year.
citizenship exam about 4 months ago.
Oh, I see. Well, I think that's amazing.
was,
I'm proud of both of you girls.
They're
I think
strict. They're strict.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, now, isn't that grand? You might drop back next week and try for...
just might.
Yes, all right. Let's see, what will it be? The
I don't know.
7th year?
No.
6 coming up.
6 coming up next week. Well, then you'll be back next week to try for $100 a week for the 6th year, won't you?
Yes,
Wonderful.
we will.
Congratulations again. Well, that was fun tonight. I hope you'll join us here again next week. Good night and live modern.
Next week, Do You Trust Your Wife will be brought to you by the Frigidaire Division of General Motors and the Frigidaire dealers in your community. And now it's time to say goodnight to Charlie McCarthy,
Good night.
Mortimer Snurd,
Me too.
and Edgar Bergen.
See you next week, folks.